What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, the G80 is finally getting a full front end makeover. And if you watched any of the videos that I put out when I had my first G80, or even the M2 for that matter, one of the things that I'm kind of addicted to is carbon fiber. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to show you guys all the parts that we got in for it. It's kind of crazy, and I'm going to kind of share with you guys the reason why I went with the parts that I went with, as opposed to stuff that I've had on my previous G80. So if I were to talk about the way that I had set up my last G80, obviously there's some things that we still need to address on this car. We got some springs that we need to put on, which is from AST right over there. And I have them, I just need to make the time to go ahead and put them on. But I have gone ahead and put spacers on the car, and it's a very different setup. Well, not very different, I guess. It's front and rear spacers, but I actually took the spacers that I had for the M2, which are 18 mils in the front and then 15s in the rear, and threw those on just because I had them laying around. Fitment is pretty good. It's pretty aggressive, but I think it suits the car well. It's definitely different from the way that I had my blue G80 set up. Obviously on the blue G80 we had some different wheels on there, but I think these stock ones are pretty cool. I might end up changing them. I might end up going the route of the typical BMW owner, right, and going with like some chrome BBS LMs. I just think that it would look crazy on this color in particular. But if you remember the blue G80, we had tried this same splitter. So I made a video, and I'll link it down below. I had tested and ordered a bunch of carbon fiber from China, just straight off Alibaba. And I think there was like one or two pieces that ended up working out. The rest of it, the quality and the fitment was just horrible overall. And I do have some stuff that we're gonna be putting on this car from that shipment, and I can kind of show you what that looks like. But if you remember, we had this same lip on the G80 initially, right? So that one I got from China, and the fitment was absolutely horrible. And just like the weave, the pattern and the weave was horrible. Unfortunately, I don't have that anymore to kind of show you guys, but you could take my word from it. Don't risk buying stuff off Alibaba or AliExpress. And given now with the tariffs, I'm sure you can't get it as cheap as you once could. So, but we ended up taking that lip off the G80, and then we installed a lip from Souvenir. And this time I wanted to go a different route. My whole goal with this car, and I've said it from the first video I made about this Techno Violet Yaris G80, is I want to do things differently. I want to do things that you don't typically see on the average G80 build. I'm sure you guys have all seen the memes where, you know, you pull up next to another G80 owner, and you have the front mount intakes. You have the same Valvetronic exhaust, all that stuff, right? So my goal is to make this a little bit different than the way that we did last time, right? So that being said, let's go. What I got to do, okay, before I show you guys all the carbon fiber, I'm gonna walk you through what we're doing today. So I got to get the car in the showroom over there. We're gonna get it on some jacks. I also, since I'm running spacers, I'm rubbing really bad in the front. So since I need to take the bumper off to install carbon fiber, I'm going to also fix the rubbing issue. I'll show you guys what we're going to be using for that. But it should be a pretty cool video today. I'm really excited. Not only am I excited just to change up the front end look, but I'm working with a pretty badass company as far as all the carbon fiber parts that we're going to be installing today. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you all the carbon, and then we're going to get it in the showroom and get cracking on it. All right, so here is all the carbon fiber. There's a couple more pieces that we're going to be installing, but these are the main ones. So this is all from a company called Unit 17 Auto Styling, and yeah, it's just the quality is absolutely insane. So this is their I mean, I don't know what you would call it, like their one-off front lip, but essentially what it does, so if you have a normal G80, you would have like the corners that are black right there, and then usually the splitter just goes underneath it and it bolts right onto it. However, this completely replaces those. You don't have to do any drilling. There's no drilling or like cutting or anything like that. It just fits OEM quality. But if you look at the bottom side of this too, it's just way more sturdy. So it's all one piece, and it actually has some heft to it, which is nice because typically the splitters that I've run in the past like won't wrap underneath this edge, so it makes them like a little bit flimsier. And yeah, if the wind catches it the wrong angle, it can kind of cause some issues, right? But hopefully that this just makes it durable over time as well. Then we have the air inlets. Again, like this carbon is really, really nice, but just OEM fitment. And obviously we'll see how the fitment is once we install it, but so far so good. All the weave of the carbon matches, which is nice. And then we have this front grill here. Now the last one I ran on the blue G80 was from a company called Project Gamma, and I had a huge issues with these guys in particular, where we'd try to put the sensors in and those things would come loose. They were basically just glued in, and I had to get a couple of them and send them back to Project Gamma just because we couldn't get that parking sensor to fit flush. So yeah, I'm really excited to throw these guys in, and it has some weather seal around it. Just overall, the quality of this stuff is really, really good. And let me show you guys, I have a piece of carbon over here. So this is from an old splitter, but you could just tell like that the quality of the weave versus that, like, it's crazy, right? Like this doesn't even look like real carbon. And then all back here is like plastic. So I don't know if this is like wet carbon, if that's what this is considered. But yeah, just a whole night and day difference. And again, like this is some of the quality stuff. If you pull up my video, and again, I'll link it down below in the description. But if you pull up my video from the video that I did when I was comparing the carbon fiber that I got from China or off Alibaba, it wasn't great. There was only a couple pieces. These guys, these side skirts, I'm gonna put these on too, but these are actually dry carbon, just like the rest of the other stuff on the table. So we're gonna throw these on. These aren't from the company, and there's like some imperfections in the carbon. But yeah, another thing I wanna mention too, obviously we're here, we work at our own detail shop. A lot of the carbon fiber that we get in that, or customers bring in to have us install on their vehicles, like we've had a ton of hoods come in and just, it comes in and it's so messed up. It's all scratched up, the clear coat sucks. So we end up having to spend hours wet sanding and two-step correcting those to even look good. And then usually we'll apply film over them in PPF. But this stuff, I don't even have to worry about that. So very, very impressed with the quality of the carbon fiber from Unit 17. All right, so got the car all jacked up, got the wheels, tires off. And the first thing that we're going to do, since I'm having rubbing issues, typically on these cars you rub on these little vents. So I bought a kit off Amazon. I'll link it down below in the description. I know I think I&D makes a full fender replacement, but they're like $600, which is crazy. So this, basically we're gonna cut this out. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the fender liners. There's a ton of these little, I think they're 10 mil bolts, but they're all over the fender liner. Pull the fender liner out, and then we'll get started on that before we pull off the front bumper, which if you've ever done it, if you haven't, it's pretty easy. So here are what we're gonna be installing on those fender liners. Just a little kit. You obviously got to do a little drilling. Comes with the hardware that you need for it, but of course made in China. But that should solve the problem that we're having with the rubbing. So let's go ahead and pull those fender liners now. All right, so got the first fender liner out, and you can see here, where's it at? Yeah, so they're already pretty toast. But so what it's gonna look like, we're gonna cut those out just with a Dremel real quick. And then basically this guy gets installed on the back side. Just drill a little hole and then use that hardware. So that way, no more rubbing. Let's get to it. All right, so we have the bumper all taken off. I've gone ahead and we got those guys all installed on those. And then I got the bumper over here. We're working on installing these, but just look at how good the fitment is on here. If you've never done these, it's kind of a pain to get this bumper cover off, or not the cover, but the liner on the inside of the bumper. But now that that's installed, get this reinstalled, work on that, and then the grill, take this old spoiler off, and we're good to go. All right, guys, so that was an absolute nightmare to get all that done, but we have everything installed on the car. New front lip is on, and I'm kind of amazed at the fitment. I've done a number of front lips, both on a G80 and my M2, and this fitment is kind of crazy. I'll show you real quick. But everything lines up perfectly, and yeah, I'm just very happy with the fitment. Looks good. So now we're just getting everything buttoned up, get the fender liners back in, get it on the ground, see what it looks like at ground level. All right, guys, so we got everything done. We got everything installed on the car there. But before I show you guys the final product, I gotta get it cleaned up. It's a little dirty after working on it. So let's jump into that right now. There she is. Oh my God, it looks insane. I love this setup so much better than the grill setup and the front lip setup that we had on the blue G80. This one, I don't know, man. It just is crazy. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comment section. But real quick, I wanted to touch on and send out a massive thank you to Unit 17 Auto Styling. I couldn't be happier with the quality of the carbon fiber parts that we put on the car and the fitment. And I think that if you look at earlier segments of the video where we kind of went up and close with how the really the quality of the carbon fiber, I really think that that's what you should look for. But here's the hard part, right? You're spending all this money on carbon fiber, and then not only that, you're having to trust that the company is going to send you really, really good quality stuff. So if you're in the market for good quality carbon fiber parts for your G80 M3 that has an outstanding fitment, you don't have to worry about anything not lining up. It just works. It works exactly like it should. And I understand that, you know, with some carbon fiber, the way that their molds are set up, things like that, you could, you know, run the risk of it not fitting well. And that is not the case with parts from Unit 17. Overall, absolutely happy. This is the next day after we installed all this stuff, and I just washed it today. Sorry, the shop is really, really busy this week. But yesterday we also put some lowering springs on the car. Full video coming regarding that. But just look at this profile shot, man. Absolutely insane. It looks so good. I'm so happy. But yeah, everything, like in terms of fitment, just like look how perfect that is, right? On the grill, when we talk about exactly how this is supposed to be on both sides, it's just, it's money. Even down here in the inlets, fitment is perfect. Down here. Now, one thing that I need to do, obviously I can do this because I own a detailing shop, we do PPF here, but where the old splitter was on here, like there's a line of the PPF. So there's no PPF in this little section here, but we'll get that fixed. The only other thing that I didn't do yet is the side skirts for one. And then I also did get a like a rear spoiler from them, but I haven't installed it because it's way more involved than just pulling this one off. If you look here, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but you can see the PPF line, right? So the PPF goes around the spoiler and not underneath it. So it's a little bit more involved. What I'm going to end up having to do is remove the spoiler. I'm going to have to pull all the PPF off of the top of the trunk here, install new film, and then I'll install the new spoiler. So I'm not going to do that in this video. Like I said, it's going to be way more involved. And we're swamped here in the shop. We got a TRX in here for a full body PPF. We got a Murano in here, brand new truck. That is a full front PPF. And then what we got in here real quick. So this is my Benton business partners, G80. Beautiful, beautiful color. We have this in for full front PPF ceramic coating as well. But if you look at the fitment and the way that it looks from the factory, so that's factory stock, and then that's kind of what we're working with now. Man, it looks incredible. All right, so that is going to wrap up our video for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I'll leave all the links to everything that we did on the M3 down below in the comment section. And do me a favor, and I'm going to leave the link to Unit Styling's Instagram. Go shoot over there, give them a follow, check out some of the stuff they got going on, because they have a lot of like very custom carbon fiber too. Again, going back to not wanting to do everything or do the same thing that other people are doing on their G80. Now, of course, it is a company. There's going to be other people with the same carbon fiber, but their lip in particular is really cool. Even the owner, she has, I can't remember the individual paint code for her car, but it's like that lime green color. It's crazy. But the front lip that she has on there, she paint matched the very front part of it, and it looks wild. So some ideas there. But like I said, go give them a follow. Check out some of the stuff they have. I'll co-sign them all day, every day. Their stuff is really, really good. Other than that, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.